She says the bars are just different for people in life. Right. The bar was very different for your husband. Very different. And I'm sure he got into Harvard just based purely on his intellect, right? And Harvard Law School. And he was ushered into the presidency with about 2 minutes of public service behind him.
Joan Rivers said that Michelle Obama was a man before she died.
Was that a joke? I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too, but the way she said it wasn't like jokey. She was like, oh, come on, everybody knows Michelle Obama's a man. Like, remember that?
Yeah, like, would Big Mike kill you for that?
Well, I think she died because she had 1,000.
Michelle Obama has crafted an image so carefully polished it dazzles at first glance. Built on a steady stream of inspirational quotes, picture-perfect public appearances, and media projects designed to reinforce her status. But when Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly cut past the surface, they strip away that polished exterior and reveal someone who isn't the flawless icon she presents, but rather a shrewd operator who has mastered the business of brand building. What emerges is less about public service or groundbreaking achievements, and more about the skill of turning proximity to power into a billion-dollar empire of self-promotion.
Here's her latest soundbite that made the rounds. This happened on June 18th, but I was off. Here it is, 39.
The boy in the mix.
I'm so glad I didn't have a boy.
Yeah.
Because he would have been a Barack Obama.
It's like baby Barack. It would have been amazing.
Ooh, no, I would have felt for him.
She just borrowed our boys.
Wow.
You catch that? She.
From the very beginning of her rise into the national spotlight, Michelle Obama's story has been less about concrete accomplishments and more about the power of presentation. Joe Rogan calls this out directly, noting how she has refined the role of political celebrity to perfection. She isn't shaping policy, she isn't driving measurable change, and she isn't the kind of advocate who delivers results you can track. Instead, she operates like an influencer with a Hollywood-level production team behind her. What should look like causes or movements tied to her name often resemble brand launches, where activism fades into marketing. Even her most celebrated initiatives, from Let's Move to Becoming, feel more like polished campaigns for influence and wealth than genuine missions of change.
Joe Rogan is calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC. Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady, you're rich as... Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yeah.
Like, you are worth so much money.
Take more than you need, Obama.
Megyn Kelly takes the critique even deeper by pointing out Michelle Obama's fixation on image and precision. Nothing is left to chance. Every word, every gesture, every smile is mapped out in advance. From the rhythm of her speeches to the subtle tilt of her head when the crowd reacts, it all feels engineered rather than organic. Kelly argues that Michelle's influence doesn't come from genuine authenticity, but from a mastery of performance. What looks like inspiration is actually stagecraft, where passion is replaced by polish. The aura of sincerity fades once you see how tightly her persona is constructed, as if her public image were less a reflection of who she is and more the outcome of a carefully designed marketing strategy straight out of a corporate boardroom.
More fuel on the fire that there's a potential, maybe a divorce or some sort of rockiness going on in the Obamas' relationship. They both posted these mirrored, very choreographed Valentine's Day messages on X, but he was just seen at an LA, the basketball team, the Clippers, thank you.
And when you strip it all down, the question becomes clear. What is Michelle Obama really selling? Rogan and Kelly land on the same answer. She's selling herself. The memoirs, the Netflix projects, the sold-out tours, all of it revolves around the packaging of Michelle as the ultimate aspirational figure. But aspirational for what exactly? Not for resilience in the face of hardship, not for pioneering reforms, and certainly not for reshaping the political landscape. Instead, she's a model for how to turn proximity to power into a lucrative brand. Her success feeds off the lingering glow of the Obama presidency, repackaged as a lifestyle for mass consumption. Its politics transformed into merchandise, with Michelle positioned as both the product and the pitchwoman in a polished, multi-million-dollar infomercial.
Playing the one
That's it. This is the one.
Or the first woman
We already
president.
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
No, Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty funny how she said it.
Okay, we all.
The critique sharpens even more when Rogan highlights Michelle Obama's talent for presenting herself as a relatable voice of the people while enjoying a lifestyle that mirrors modern-day royalty. It's hard to preach accessibility when you're shuttling between lavish estates, signing blockbuster deals with Netflix, and commanding speaking fees that rival the budgets of small towns. Kelly takes that contrast and amplifies it, pointing out the irony of Michelle writing children's books about empowerment while pocketing checks large enough to bankroll entire school districts. To her admirers, this looks like inspiration. To Rogan, it borders on delusion. To Kelly, it reeks of hypocrisy. Together, they strip away the facade and frame Michelle's brand of relatability as little more than elite cosplay dressed up as authenticity.
I will not run for president.
Yeah, I've heard you say I think Michelle should run.
She could win. She could win, I think. I think if she ran, she could win.
Do you ever run for office? I have to ask.
No.
No kind of office.
No.
I don't think she wants that, though.
No,
I don't think she wants that in her life. The bull that they dealt with over the 8 years when he was president.
I've got these two young people at home. Being the kids, the daughters of a president, just think about it. Not so easy.
That job for anybody that really would be really good at it.
Yeah, I trust the person who doesn't want the job more than the person who wants the job.
It's not something that I'm interested in or would ever do, ever.
Michelle Obama has often leaned on the image of being the nation's guiding voice for women and young girls, casting herself as a kind of unofficial mentor-in-chief. But Kelly undercuts this narrative by exposing how hollow those messages really are. Encouraging young girls to dream big without providing any substance beyond motivational catchphrases isn't empowerment, it's advertising. True empowerment demands policy battles, structural change, and tangible progress, none of which Michelle has ever stepped into. Instead, she opted for the safer route of polished slogans, the kind that look perfect on tote bags and Instagram posts but crumble when measured against reality. Rogan jumps in to take it a step further, ridiculing the idea that Michelle is even considered a serious contender for the presidency. Leadership, he argues, requires actual leadership, results, decisions, courage under fire. Michelle, on the other hand, offers little more than a glossy magazine cover and a highly skilled PR machine.
She got on this guy Jay Shetty's podcast, and he asked her something about her greatest fear as of late, and here's what she said.
Current climate for me, it's, what's happening to immigrants. So it's not the fear for myself anymore. I drive around in a 4-car motorcade with a police escort. I'm Michelle Obama. I do still worry about my daughters in the world, even though they are somewhat recognizable. So my fears are for what I know is happening out there in streets all over the city. And now that we have leadership that is sort of indiscriminately determining who belongs and who...
Kelly goes straight at the myth of Michelle Obama as America's moral North Star. The media's relentless praise frames her as untouchable, the embodiment of integrity, the benchmark of decency itself. But Kelly shows how this image isn't organic, it's engineered. Any attempt to question her contradictions is instantly framed as an attack on virtue itself, making criticism nearly impossible. That's the shield Michelle wields so effectively, popularity as armor, insulating her from accountability. To Kelly, it's the ultimate hustle, an image crafted so flawlessly that even inconvenient truths can't pierce it. Rogan takes an even harsher swing, calling Michelle the living symbol of the participation trophy era. She hasn't been rewarded for groundbreaking achievement, he argues, but for simply being in the right place at the right time. Her most notable accomplishment is marrying Barack Obama, and her true legacy has been transforming that proximity into celebrity status. Rogan doesn't paint it as malicious, but as pure opportunism. And Kelly drives the point home by noting that no one has profited more from that culture of unearned adoration than Michelle Obama herself.
Here's in part what she said to Jay Shetty on his On Purpose podcast, Saw 20.
Going to happen in this next election. I am terrified about what could possibly happen because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that bully pulpit. You know, the fact that people think that government, it doesn't really even do anything. And I'm like, oh my God, does government do everything for us? And we cannot take this democracy for granted. And sometimes I worry that we...
Number one, all the things she's talking about to kick it off are about rhetoric. Who speaks for us? Who has the bully pulpit? That's all